Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about the Braxtons, Season 1, Episode 7.
Listen here, I am so excited about this episode. Finally, we get a Braxtons episode. Subscribe, like, share, comment. We so close to 3,000. Please help us get there. We appreciate all the comments. Blair, walk us through this episode.
So Miss E, Trina, and Towanda are all getting pedicures.
Yes.
Tawanda's asking her mom how the date went.
Mm-hmm.
So she says, look, the guy was wearing all purple. She wasn't feeling it, but he was a nice guy.
Okay.
She only thing she really liked was that he was a man.
Mm.
But she says that her daughters never get it right when it comes to her hooking her up.
Well, it's kind of hard to hook you up at your age. You need to listen here, Miss E. You need to go in your circle and find somebody. Don't ask us to go into like a circle we're not familiar with to hook you up with somebody else. Like these are your old people.
Uh-huh.
You get what I'm saying?
So they are going to do a marketing shoot in LA,
Uh-huh.
and they are also going to see Toni rehearse for her Vegas show.
Okay, let's keep going.
So we see Toni rehearsing with Cedric, the entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
We find out that their kids have actually dated. It didn't really work out, but she's remained close to Cedric and his wife.
Okay, nice.
So Towanda, Evelyn, and Trina arrive. They watch them go from the top of the show to the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And Toni says like a little joke in there about like vegetables and whatever the case may be about mushrooms being a fungi. And Trina's like, look, Toni's amazing at many things, but not comedy.
Yeah,
it's not her thing.
And listen, I'm not gonna hold you. I supported you with the last joke, Toni. This joke, you kind of killed the vibe of the show early.
Mm-hmm.
It was cringy. I wanted the scene to be over as soon as possible. It wasn't funny at all. And hopefully the people in Vegas ain't seeing that.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that.
So next we have Towanda, Trina, and Evelyn going out for lunch.
Yes.
Trina is going to need some undergarments and some Photoshop for this shoot just because of her weight gain. But she trusts Derek Blanks with the photos. He's done photos for a lot of famous black women.
Okay.
So she trusts him.
Just a little Photoshop.
Yeah. Towanda says that it feels like Tracy is going to come through and say something crazy, and is this kind of the vibe that they're getting. Trina and Towanda stand up to take a picture, and in the back of them is a hummingbird flying around. And the hummingbird just kind of stays around and flies around Miss Evelyn a little bit above their heads. And they feel that it was Tracy's presence. Tracy told them before she passed that if you see a hummingbird, that's going to be me.
Hey, listen, she loves hummingbirds. So whenever they see a hummingbird, they believe it's Tracy or it's a sign.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I have nothing against it. So far, so good. I feel like I'm enjoying the show so far.
Okay.
This is how I'm feeling watching the show, because I'm like, finally, we get to see the Braxtons.
For me, I'm feeling like they really have no storyline without Kevin Jr. They really got nothing really interesting going on. I guess to me, like Toni's show is interesting, but to me, Toni's
show is interesting.
I like to see like the production of it. I think it's interesting to see like the background of how they're going about getting the show together. But Toni is just a very chill personality. Like she's not very exciting to watch. And the sisters, I can tell they're trying to be jokey and all this type of stuff, but it really is not the same with all of them not together. It's the magic is not there for me.
Yeah, I was counting to see how long we gonna go without saying the boogeyman name, and you went less than 4 minutes.
Oh.
I was trying to go a whole episode without saying Kevin Jr.
Oh, sorry.
Because he wasn't in the episode, so I was like, finally in Braxton's episode. Blair need him, y'all.
So it's the day of the photo shoot.
Yes.
Everyone is getting their hair and makeup done. Everyone except for Tamar, because Tamar is doing her own separate shoot.
So she's not there.
She's not there.
Okay.
In LA.
Okay.
Towanda is feeling free. She's bald. She's accepted her alopecia.
Yes.
And she is rolling with it. And she absolutely looks gorgeous. She looks great.
I like the look on her.
So Miss E is up first for her picture. She does her thing. Then we see Towanda, then Trina. Then we knock it out the park with Toni at the end.
Of course.
So Tamar isn't there. She told Toni that she is going to do her own marketing shoot in Atlanta. And Toni gets it because, Tamar has a crazy schedule. And if it works that way for her, that's fine.
Stop right there. Do Toni gets it? Do Toni gets it for that reason? For those reasons?
Well, I think later on Toni's going to tell us the real reason, but this is the initial reason Toni tells us. And they're all just talking about how it's just not the same with Tamar and Tracy not being there.
Okay.
They, kind of make the set really fun. It's really funny with both of them being there, and they can feel that their presence is gone.
Yeah. And we're going to get to it, but I'm going to give y'all my analysis on how I feel about Tamar. Tamar is a narcissist. Right, finally we get to talk about the family. I've been waiting how many episodes? 5 episodes, 6 episodes to talk about the Braxtons. 7 episodes to talk about it. Tamar is a narcissist. When it comes to all of them being together, now don't get it wrong. I believe Tamar is successful. She can sing. She can't dance. And we all love certain songs that Tamar have sung. Right, she's a star in her own right. Right, but when it comes to the pecking order of stardom, when they all together, Toni's number one. Right, now here's the thing about Tamar, which I don't understand. Hey, we watched the Braxtons, or at least Braxton's Family Value, for Tamar. Tamar was the breakout star, so I don't really understand why she's using this excuse of, hey, I'm just gonna do my own marketing photo shoot in Atlanta. It's kind of like, hey, I kind of don't want to share the spotlight with my sisters. I kind of just want to be on my own. And she's trying to, in my opinion, trying to say, like, boundaries. I don't want to be drama and things like that. Trying to use mental health as a shield, which we gonna get more into in the episode. But I think it really all comes down to her being like really her being self-absorbed and her being like it's about me, self-centered in like some way.
Okay, so Tamar is at her shoot.
Yes,
she doesn't feel connected to this whole production. She wants to be here for and to celebrate Traci.
Yeah,
but she's not for any of the other stuff.
What's the other stuff?
To me, that's her sisters.
Okay.
So she has on these waist beads that she uses to manifest things in her life. She's had them on for 3 years. They cut the beads off, and she says, these beads also absorb a lot of energy. One of them was one that she had on when Traci passed away, and she is trying to find herself, moving beyond the past, and she wants to be the best version of herself.
What are your thoughts?
For me, I'm just like, to me, Tamar says like a whole lot of nothing. Like, like this just sounds like inspirational quotes. I want to get beyond the past. I want to be the best version of myself. You've been in therapy for all this time. Like, when does the actual change happen? And I feel like I can see some of the change. I'm not going to say that there is no change. I can see some of the change of just the fact that she seems to trying to be navigating situations a little bit better than she has in the past, and being a little bit less explosive in the way that she responds to things. But I also feel like you can't live in a vacuum. You got to live with people. You got to work with people. You have to be around family if you so choose, And I think with her kind of othering herself from the production and from her family, it's just kind of like, why are you even here? You want to be here to celebrate Traci, but most of the time that we're here with you when talking about you is about how you need to grow into this better person for yourself, and working on these books and all these types of things. And it just seems like you're just so disconnected from the actual storyline of the show and just the production of the show, which you've said that you don't feel connected to it. And to me, it even goes as far as, like, I look at the details, she didn't even have the right color gold on.
Wow.
And I'm just like, she would have known to wear like a more bronzy gold if she was with her siblings and could see like the outfits that they were wearing. And my thing is like, who knows, maybe Tamar got the color and said, I want to do something more light. And just wanted to stand out and, like you said, be the star in her own right and not have to go along with whatever the group is doing. And I think in a way I understand that, because the way that they explain how they were raised as sisters is like they kind of have to move as a unit. And I can see how a lot of the times people, they just want to break out from that. But I feel like being on the show and being in this collective in the way that you are, like, you kind of have to be a little bit more connected and plugged in. And Tamar just doesn't seem to want to be. And it's disjointing. Like, it just doesn't feel good to watch.
Well, let's have a discussion about it now then, because when the scene come up, or if the scene come up, we should revisit it. But I want to talk about it now. That goal could be fixed in post-production when the photographer make Trina skinnier, I guess. I don't know, right? But Tamar says something in this episode where she was like, when I was doing Family Values, and then when I did Get Your Life, I think the show with Vince or whatever it was, she said she was forced to be someone that wasn't herself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah, she had to play this character.
No one told you to play this character.
No.
And my thing is, I don't think it's a character, because when the show was off the air, you still was being Tamar.
Yeah.
And things like that.
You being Tamar on Twitter.
Exactly.
I watched you on Big Brother. You was being Tamar on Big Brother.
Come on. Was it College Hill or something like that? Which show was she on to where every time we see Tamar? So my whole thing is, I just want to know, or I'm more confused rather, of what is this character that we are kind of forcing you to play? If anything, the public is like, Tamar, relax. Chill, like we want you to be funny, as in being yourself, but this other extraness and trying to blame it that like you're forced to be this. Well, I can't tell, because when we kind of bleed the reality TV life to what you going on in real life and things like that, it's like it's the same Tamar. So like I think it's just her being able to. I think it's just another trait of being a narcissist, where you're like, you know what, it's everybody else. I have to put boundaries up, and I have to have somebody who is a counselor on set, because I'm not going back to where I was back in the day. And I'm not even saying like that's not true, but I don't think she's doing the work to actually progress more than actually making it seem like she's doing the work. That's just my opinion on Tamar.
Tawanda's boyfriend arrives and brings her flowers, and Miss E just loves to see the closeness that they have.
Okay.
For me, I was like, why is Sean here?
Wow. You don't like seeing Sean?
I don't mind seeing Sean, but to me, it just feels like they're trying to paint a narrative to me. And, okay, if this is Tawanda's life, we've been asking for Tawanda's life so she could stop using the other story as her storyline.
Yeah, so please.
But I'm like, why is Sean bring flowers to the photo shoot? Like, how long are you going to be in LA? He couldn't have just waited till you got back to Atlanta. So who am I? Maybe I'm a hater.
I'm in love, Blair.
To me, it just came off a little forced to me for some reason. I don't know.
Listen here. I am not going to talk out of both sides of my mouth. I've been, for 7 episodes, Blair said, I've been begging Towanda to have a storyline. If Sean is her storyline, I have no beef with it.
Okay.
If this is the only peak and the only tunnel vision we could get into Tawanda's life, I have no beef with it. I'm actually happy that we get to see Sean.
Did it feel authentic to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, and when I say yes, I mean in the essence of the show. The whole show feels like a wrestling match to me. It all feels like a soap opera, to where you know it's not all legitimate. So my thing is, I'm not going to nitpick Sean being there, because if this is the door that I have to go through to get Tawanda's life, I'm happy.
Okay.
I'm just like, finally, we get to see what's going on in her life and actually get a Braxtons episode. So I'm not going to nitpick Sean being there. Is it weird that he's in LA while she's at work technically? Yeah, but maybe they're going from LA and they're going to Vegas, and maybe he can't, like, who knows? I'm just happy that we get to see what's going on in her life. Okay.
So then Toni reveals to us that Tamar also needs her space, and that's probably the bigger reason why she didn't come, not just because she's so busy. But she is trying to respect Tamar's boundaries.
I don't think they respect Tamar's boundaries. I think this is the most PC answer. I don't even think they know what Tamar boundaries are.
Yeah.
It's just something cool to say. In the sense of people learn that word and they just use it. You know what? This is my boundary. Don't cross it. What do you mean? We're sisters. You get what I'm saying? So I don't even know, to your point, Blair, like, if you're going to act like this, Tamar, you actually was better off not doing the show.
Yeah.
Truth be told. Because for you to be on the show and to say, I really didn't want to do this production, then don't do the production.
Exactly.
Oh, no. But, like, you know, my mother made me do it. Well, guess what? Truth be told, I don't want Miss Evelyn on the show. I mean, like, she haven't shown us anything. You get what I'm saying? So my whole thing is like, hey, if you're going to be on the show, I need you to be invested in this wrestling match. You get what I'm saying? To basically give off. So it's like, if you're not going to tell us what the real thing is, to the fact, I mean, if you're not going to tell us what the real thing is to the point where you have to have a boundary, Tamar, don't bring it up and don't be on the show. That's just my opinion. And
if I'm reading between the lines correctly, I think when Tony's talking about Tamar's boundaries, it's pretty much like, I ain't got the energy to argue with
Tamar.
Time.
You're right.
She going to do what she want to do.
You hit it.
And it's going to be what it's going to be. I'm not trying to convince Tamar to come here. I ain't trying to get her to do whatever. I'm not going to engage in some type of arguing match with Tamar. So whatever Tamar wants to do, we respect it.
Listen, 100. You sound just like a big sister. Basically, like just let her have it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You hit the nail on the head. Yep.
So Trina, Towanda, and Toni, they all meet up for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about how the shoot was just so weird without Traci, and they're just kind of reminiscing about Traci. But I do want to say Trina was the only one who brought up, and Tamar.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird without Tamar.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of went back to talking about Traci.
Oh, yeah. Traci,
we didn't stay on Tamar for long.
Yeah, we missed it. Oh, look, a hummingbird. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're right.
So Toni pretty much orders everything from the menu. She must love this place.
Listen, I think they only shoot in this restaurant. I see this restaurant at least 3 times.
Yeah,
and she love it. I kind of want to know what the restaurant is. But
Mr. Chow's.
It's called what?
Mr. Chow's.
Okay.
So she's talking about how she feels good about performing with Cedric. His mom has lupus, so he's pretty empathetic to whatever her needs are in the moment. She is dealing with bronchitis, and it's a bit scary for her because with lupus, it can transition to something a lot more serious a lot quicker.
Yeah.
So Towanda asked Toni, if she's ever thought about getting married again, and Toni just doesn't think she's the marrying type at this point. She feels like she missed her window. Trina doesn't believe in that, and they're talking about how she's Elizabeth Taylor because you on your third, fourth, fifth husband.
I'm about to say, right, Trina? No, hold on now stop right there for a second, right? I kind of like this conversation, because she says she's not the marrying type. Well, if you're with Birdman, you probably won't be.
Right
now, I don't know if she's still with him or things of that nature, but I find it very interesting that they're kind of talking about marriage while we have Towanda here in a 9-year relationship. You get what I'm saying? And she's not even engaged at this point. We're not going to break the fourth wall yet, right? And I'm laughing at Trina because I'm like, Trina, how many husbands you had? You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I wanted. This is the conversation. This is the Braxton show that I wanted to have and things of that nature. So yeah, I just wanted to put that 2 cents in.
So Towanda has been with Sean for 9 years.
9 years.
She doesn't really know if wedding bells are coming, but she is happy. She's happy with Sean. She's happy with her life. Things are good, and she's not pressing for it to go in any direction.
Okay, I hear you, Towanda.
So Sean and Towanda, we see them go on a date. She's talking about how she's not ashamed of her alopecia anymore. She was saying how in 7th grade people or a girl had talked about how thin her hair was, and she had issues since back then. She says she's not going to allow anyone to have that much control over her emotions ever again in life. Yeah. The first season of Braxton Family Values, she would wear pigtails because it was like a safe hairstyle because it would cover the thin spots that she would have. And then after that, they got wigs, and she could start wearing wigs, and she felt a lot more comfortable doing that. And there was like times in their relationship where there would be kind of arguments where Sean would tell her, take the wig off, like just be relaxed, like just wear your hair how it is. And she couldn't do it, and she also didn't feel comfortable telling him about it at the time. But I think they said like it was during one stay at a hotel to where he actually got to see her hair, and he complimented her on it and told her that she was beautiful, and she said it was really something she needed to hear in that moment.
When it comes to her alopecia and things like that, I ain't gonna hold you. I really do like the bald look on Towanda.
Me too.
I really do. And the fact that she does her makeup well, she has the face for it. She has the head for it. It just like, I don't want to be insensitive, but it's like you was made for this look. You get what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm not a woman, so when it comes to hair, y'all have a certain attachment to your hair. When it comes to me, I have long hair, right? But if something was to happen the way I have to cut my hair, I would just cut my hair. You get what I'm saying? So I am happy that she was actually courageous enough, because somebody can compliment you, but it has to be for you first before you take it externally and things of that nature. And then anything you want to add to like the alopecia before I break them down as a couple? No,
I appreciate her telling the story.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Okay. Now, because I gotta give them something sweet before I go sour.
Okay.
Right. 9 years together, right? I can kind of understand why people may feel like Sean is the type to insert himself in the family prematurely without actually doing the work to actually be part of the family. And I can use everything that happened in this episode, showing up to the photo shoot. Hey, we at work. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, this is not...
Vaughn ain't here and he the husband.
Okay.
What you doing here?
Okay, right?
Okay.
And Sean just seemed like, even going back to when they first met, when they had the flashback and things like that, it's like, you always been here. And I kind of feel like Towanda, it's kind of like, I don't want to rock the boat. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I just want to focus on my happiness. But from the outside looking in, what is your thoughts, especially since you can remember Braxton family values and things like that, on like being together for 9 years, even then, back in the day, asking for Mr. Braxton for his blessing to propose to Towanda and still didn't do it. Mm-hmm. It kind of comes off, I don't want to use the word opportunist because I'm like, he's been there. But at the same time, it just don't feel right. You get what I'm saying? It just, I don't know what the feeling is. Help me with the words, Blair.
I think that Towanda wants to get married.
Okay.
And I think you're right that she just doesn't want to rock the boat. She doesn't want to put any pressure on him. Mm-hmm. And like she said, I think she said to one of the family members, it's just like, she can't propose to herself. I mean, she can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's not going to propose to him. So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen whenever he decides. And she's just going to enjoy the relationship for what it is.
Yeah.
And I think that she feels that she has no choice in the matter. If she wants to stay with him, this is pretty much the attitude that she has to have.
Yeah.
And for me with Sean, I do feel like a lot of the things with him and probably with them is for the cameras. For him to ask for the hand in marriage and not propose to her is wild. At the same time, I think that it's interesting that they've been together for 9 years. Now, I feel like when you're younger,
okay, help me,
20s, maybe into early 30s, I can understand things kind of taking a while for you to decide if you want to marry somebody, because you guys are kind of growing, trying to build on your financial situation and work.
Fix my credit.
Yeah, and all this type of stuff. So I can see where some people might take, some time to get married in their younger years.
Yeah.
If you're older, you've already asked for the hand in marriage. Y'all already living together. You can tell that Towanda wants to be married. Mm-hmm. What's the holdup? What is the holdup?
Yeah.
So there could be something within the relationship that we don't know about, which is none of our business or whatever. But I find it strange for them to be like 50 plus. And
I don't know. Are they that old? Probably, because I'm about to say I think Tamar is in her 50s. And she is the youngest. Mm-hmm. So I think Tamar's like early 40s. Late 40s. Uh-huh. If she's in her late 40s, Towanda may be 50, 51. Who knows? I don't know.
So to me, I'm just like, it is.
Even then, that's 9 years. Even then, like, even in your 40s, you basically dated your whole 40s, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So even then, I'm just kind of like, what? Like, what's the holdup? Because you both have kind of, it's one thing if you both have made it clear that, look, we're not trying to get married. Mm-hmm. We're not trying to go down this path. We're just living together, enjoying each other. Then that's fine. But because you asked for the hand in marriage, the intention for marriage is there. So what's the holdup? Yeah. So
especially when he say little vague things, like it's some things we still got to sort out. I'm just like, I don't know what that means. And here's the thing. Mm-hmm. And then of course we're going to move on. Because I want to talk about the previews, because I like how they show the previews within the episode of like basically the upcoming episodes. Mm-hmm. Obviously we know breaking the fourth wall, he proposed to her, so they are engaged. But it do feel like he asked for the blessing on the show. He did not propose, right? Mm-hmm. At any point while the show was gone. You get what I'm saying? While the show was on, he didn't. While Tracy was the only one doing the show, he didn't propose. And then he proposes when the show come back. Mm-hmm. So like,
it seems a little calculated.
So and not even because calculated can be a good thing. It seems a little performative. Yeah. It seems like wrestling.
And it kind of felt like, and we'll have to see the next episode, but we just talking, y'all. Just talk with us. Just vibe with us for a second.
We gonna move on, okay?
But it seemed like it was the night of Toni and Cedric's show. So to me, I'm like, why are you proposing on this stage? On Toni's stage, if we want to put it like that, when it's not even about Towanda right now. Like, this is Toni's moment.
Because it's for the show. And that's what I'm saying. And now, because we all watch enough reality TV, we kind of can, especially if you watch wrestling long enough, we kind of know what the next move is. Mm-hmm. What is the next move? Next season is going to be about Towanda's wedding. Uh-huh. Like you kind of get guessed. Like, there's not going to be, unless they break up, a Braxton season where the focus won't be on Towanda's wedding. And all I'm saying is I have no problem them showing us this, but I'm just like, it just seems very performative. Sean just comes off as very performative.
Both of them do to me.
You know what I'm saying? So, but look, I'm happy that we got to see, if this is Towanda's life, I have no beef. Thank you for showing us your life on your show, The Braxtons.
So we get to Toni and Cedric. They go to the Jennifer Hudson show to promote their Vegas show. She talks about how the week has been intense. The grief has just been coming in waves.
Yeah.
She tears up a little bit on stage, and the Vegas show is going to be the following week. So after the show, her manager checks in on her and just asks her how she's doing. And you can tell, like, she's literally holding it together until he walks out the room.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, she's about to break down like any second right now. Like, clearly it was a lot for her, and she needs a minute.
Is that the end of the episode?
That's it.
What are your thoughts on this episode?
Yeah, I thought it was boring.
Wow.
I don't think that Towanda, Toni, Trina, and Evelyn can carry a show.
Really?
I don't. So I feel like Tawanda's a little too guarded, so it doesn't come across very authentic and interesting. And she's just kind of like, yeah, everything's great, everything's fine, everything's great. And I think it's, people's lives can be great, don't get me wrong, people can be having a great time, but there are questions that people have, and I feel like you're not giving us anything. You've been engaged for 9 years. Can we get a peek into what's going on with that? And it's just kind of like every door is
she
shut.
don't know. I'm about to say, like,
but he's talking about things they need to work on. Can you ask him that while you at the dinner table? No. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just certain doors that she's not willing to open. So it's just kind of like one dimensional to me. Trina, I like Trina.
I don't like Trina.
I like Trina. But I do feel like she is kind of like the glue for a lot of the sisters, as far as like trying to get people to get along and to have a good time and not take themselves too seriously. But it also seems like she has found her way buddy with Towanda, and I think that Towanda is just not the same way that Trina is, and Trina has found herself to be a follower in this situation.
I mean, it's only her sister.
And Toni's a superstar. Toni doesn't have to carry the show on her back, and Toni is just a chill personality. I can tell in the confessionals, like, she's trying to be energetic and, you know, talk about her jokes and all these types of things, but I'm just like, Toni, you look tired, relax. You know, and I don't say that, you know, because of her illness or whatever, but it just, she doesn't seem to have that bubbly personality. Like, she's trying, and I appreciate the effort because we're working with so much, but yeah, and I feel like with Tamar, she just needs to be fully involved in the show. It's just like, why come on the show and talk about how you don't feel connected to the show? It's just like, you're just complaining for what?
So basically, you saying this show needs Tamar?
I think that this show needs to be a one and done. Like,
no, it's not. It don't. No, that's something I don't agree with.
I mean, because I'm not interested in seeing Towanda's wedding story. Like, she's not going to tell us all the info.
We don't know. Look, we don't know. Well, I kind of know, but I'm saying I think this show needs Tamar.
Okay.
And we need Tamar to be Tamar, and not in a toxic way. But, like, you know, that way that Tamar keeps saying, like, oh, I had to play a character. No, Tamar, you have been playing this character for over a decade and things like that. I don't think it's a character. I think it's you. And then when people over here started judging you and started being like, hey, Tamar, you do too much, then all of a sudden you're like, you know what, that's not the real me, y'all. But every time we see it, I think...
one more thing.
Oh, okay.
And I think that there's more that Tamar can show. What's going on with JR?
No, I don't want to know about that JR crap. No.
It's playing out on social media.
I don't want to know.
Why not bring it to the show?
I don't want nothing to do.
They're holding back too much.
I don't want nothing to do with JR, please.
And I think that's why it's boring, because they're holding back too much.
I don't want nothing to do with JR,
but
please.
go ahead.
Keep JR away from me, okay? I think Tamar is doing one of those, let's see how good can y'all put on a show without me. And that's a narcissistic way to think. And she's doing everything in her power to be like, hey, I show up, but I'm going to do my own photo shoot. If I'm at, listen, it showed a preview of her being at the Toni Braxton show. I don't even know if they knew that she was there. You get what I'm saying? I think she's doing one of those, like, let's see who's the star of the show when I actually pull back and do less than less. And my thing is, hey, listen here. I'm just happy we are out of the Kevin Jr. Woods for now and things like that when it comes to the show and things of that nature. Now, everything that's happened outside the show, hey, Godspeed, okay? But I'm just happy that, hey, we saw a little bit of Towanda's life, no matter how orchestrated it was. Toni, we see your life a little bit, no matter how boring or little it was. Trina, Godspeed to you. Tamar, you are a narcissist in my opinion. Hey, we got a Braxton episode. Miss Evelyn, I don't know why you on the show. I know that sounds kind of mean, but I don't know why she's on the show. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Listen, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment. We'll be back next week with another episode.
Bye.